Good morning, friends. I trust you're doing well this morning. I'm doing better than I deserve, so I'm thankful to be alive. Thankful to be able to share a few thoughts. Darlene and I were in the library in a place called Fort Payne, Alabama. And Darlene saw her teacher when she was in elementary school. And of course, this teacher had a daughter that was a classmate of Darlene. And so Darlene walked up and she said, how's your daughter doing? You know, my classmate, how's she doing? And the answer she received was, well, she's making $80,000 a year. I thought, what kind of answer is that? If you equate financial prosperity with happiness, then if you're poor, you can't be happy. Now, of course, at that point, I was beginning to unlearn, because in school, in the university, I was being taught that the money you make, the position you occupy, your prestige, your power, these all would bring satisfaction, peace, and happiness. And it's not true. Because if it were true, if money can make you happy, then all rich people would be happy. And my dear friends, they are not. So I was beginning to see, before I knew Christ, that the principles underpinning the foundation of heaven were essential if you want to understand the real secret of success, the secret of succeeding and being happy. And so I just didn't learn that in the university. Always pushing, the more education you have, the better the job, the more money you'd make, the happier you would be. And it just wasn't true. When I started reading the Bible, I got into Isaiah 58. There's a chapter there on health evangelism. It's using health to share the gospel. And in verse 7 and 8, it says, if you deal your bread to the hungry, if you clothe the naked. In verse 8, Isaiah 58, verse 8, it says, then your health shall spring forth. And I thought, if you want to be healthy and happy, you feed the hungry, you clothe the naked. That's not what I learned in school. Everything in school centered upon self-satisfaction, self-accomplishment, self-trust, self-sufficiency, doing what's right, self-righteousness. Never heard these kind of ideas. That if you wanted to be healthy and happy, and mentally, physically, spiritually, you need to take the focus off yourself and put it on others. When others are hungry, give them a bite to eat. When others are cold, loan them a coat. And then as I read more in the Bible, Luke 22:27, Jesus asked the question, who's greater, he that sitteth at meat or he that serveth? Who's greater, the man sitting there at the table or the servants waiting upon the man? The answer is easy. The man that's great is the one sitting at the table being served. And that's not how it is in heaven. Jesus replies, he adds on to the question, I am among you as he that serveth. He's not sitting, being waited upon. He is serving. And what he's trying to do, Christ is trying to give us the picture to bring health and happiness into our souls, to find lasting peace. John 13. You see it again in John 13. Verse 13. You call me Master and Lord, and ye say, well, for so I am. If I, your Master and Lord, have washed your feet, ye ought to wash one another's feet. Now, he takes the role of a servant in John 13 and he begins to wash feet. And then in verse 15, I've given you an example. You should do as I have done. But verse 17 says it all. If you know these things, happy are ye if you do it. This is what makes you happy. Acts 20:35, it's more blessed to give than it is to receive. Proverbs 17:22, a merry heart doeth good like a medicine. What makes a heart merry? Giving people the medicine of love. It's very simple. It's self-sacrificial service. Instead of self-centered, it's now obliterating self altogether. I'm not there. I want to be, but I'm not there. I still have a selfish heart. But I can see in the search for peace, that question continually comes up, then what does make a man happy? I remember one time I was having my lunch. I was working in health ministry in an institutional setting. I was having my lunch, and a man that was a guest, a patient in our institution, had joined me at my house for lunch. And we were both sitting there eating, and I'm just making conversation, chit-chat. I think this man had come out of the penitentiary, And I'm just talking to him, making chit chat. And I said to him, hey man, what's the best thing in the world? What really makes a man happy? And he paused a second, looked me dead in the eye, and he said, a wife you can trust. And I thought, that's it. These relationships, the environment, the social environment in which we live, which includes the relationships, these are the things that bring lasting happiness. It's not receiving gifts. Somebody gives you a new Mercedes, somebody gives you a mountain of money. It's not the gift that brings lasting happiness and peace. I remember coming back from South Korea. This is years and years ago. I was flying back from South Korea, landing at the LAX airport. Now I had a cheap ticket. That means I got there at 10 o'clock on Wednesday and leaving at 10 o'clock on Thursday. My plan was to spend the night in what I call the LAX airport hotel, which is the floor. But Darlene has spoken to one of our lifestyle guests and his mother. They knew I was in LA. They lived in Los Angeles. And they had arranged to meet me, and they wanted to take me out and buy me lunch. And I hadn't eaten in like a day or two, so I was very happy to accept the invitation. So I was with this Cleo and her son. We were at a nice restaurant, had a vegan menu, all these all you could eat, big spread, fruits and vegetables, just beautiful. And I was so hungry. It was an all you can eat, and I'm ashamed to say this. I think I ate 2 or 3 plates. I was so hungry. Do what I say, don't do what I do, right? So I ate 2 or 3 plates and was just really full, happy with fellowship there, the relationships, happy with Cleo and her son, nice talk. And then it came time to push away from the table. She was going to drop me at the airport, got into the van, and as we're headed to the airport, I see this sign. And it says LAX airport that way. And I noticed she takes the left fork instead of the right one. I thought, she lives here. Doesn't she know the airport is that way? And after a few blocks, she turned into, I can't remember the name of the hotel, the Econo Lodge. Turned into the hotel, turned around, looked at me in the back seat, and she said, they got a king-size bed waiting for you, 24-hour shuttle to the airport. And she handed me a little card for the room key. I thought, what? I went in, went to my room, fell back on that king-size bed, well-fed, big king-size bed. It was so soft. I was here instead of the hard floor in the LAX International Airport. And I just could not sleep because I was jet lagged out from the trip from South Korea, 12-hour time difference. I pulled out my computer and I sent Cleo a thank you note. But I told her, and it's even in my heart today, it wasn't the bed, it wasn't the lunch, it was the heart of the giver that brought joy and peace. It wasn't what she gave me, it was the intention and desire to help me. That's more like in the heart. That's not an outward thing. In 1 Samuel 16:7, the man looks on the outside, but God looks on the heart. It was a gift from her heart to mine. And it really meant something to me that she would be willing to do that. And this is what's important. It's the intents of the heart. Peace of mind is true riches. What gives you peace of mind is that when everybody fails you, when everything fails you, you can still know that God is there to keep you, protect you, and give you a peace that passes understanding. John 14:27, my peace I give unto you, not as the world gives it, give I unto you. The world did not give it to us, the world cannot take it away. True, lasting peace comes from the riches that comes from the heart of Christ. And often, He works through the hearts of others to reveal His love for us. When I got that night in the hotel from Cleo, I knew that was a gift from God. James 1:17, every good gift, every perfect gift is from above and cometh down from the Father of lights, with whom there's no variableness, neither shadow nor turning. The Lord never changes, Malachi 3:6. He's always the same. And He wants to use us to bless others. That's the peace. When we can take on the role of a servant and serve God in serving others, this is where permanent peace comes from. I did not learn that in the university. In the university, it's all about me. In the Bible, it's all about God. So God bless you today, my friends, and may He keep you. And keep in your mind Philippians 2:7, that Jesus made Himself of no reputation, but took on Himself the form of a servant. Here comes the Savior. He's a servant. And He wants to place in our hearts the good gifts from heaven. May the Lord keep you today and give you His peace, His joy, as we seek to decrease, John 3:29 and 30, so Jesus can increase, therefore our joy will be made full. Blessings, my friends. Have a nice day.